Bridey Elliott, daughter of Chris, enlists her father, sister, and mother in this intriguingly pitch-black comedy. There's no people like show people, as the old song goes. And the show people playing exaggerated versions of themselves in Clara's Ghost would likely agree. They'd also be quick to sing along, jazz hands in tow, but through about 18 different levels of irony besotted with resentment, jealousy, and self-loathing. There's a lot going on with these characters. This extremely homemade film, written and directed by Bridey Elliott and starring her own mostly famous family, is extremely funny at times and nerve-wracking at others, but also pitch-black to the point that many will find it unbearable. I say stick with it. If nothing else, the film is a work of great daring. Chris Elliott, maybe you remember him from eating dog food on the old David Letterman show, or at least the 90s classic Get a Life, plays the paterfamilias, washed-up actor Ted Reynolds. He is devoted to his wife Clara, Paula Needham Elliott, so much that he'll drive her to the local sleepy Connecticut police station to make a report about a missing she. Both are drunks, but Clara is beyond making Nora Charles-like wry remarks, and is now having hallucinations. Luckily, the house may actually be haunted. Daughters Julie and Riley, recent SNL Bridey Elliott and Bridey herself, are taking the train up to the Folks to celebrate the dog's birthday. They were once the sweet sisters, tween superstars, though the biz has not been kind to them lately. Smiling for Instagram makes up the bulk of their output these days. There's enough old money lingering around. Eagle-eyed Elliott scholars will see evidence of Bridey's grandfather Bob Elliott, of Bob and Ray fame, so the family lives comfortably, if not happily. The ochre tapestries, numerous chandeliers, and a very busy crystal ice bucket set the stage for the film's centerpiece, an epic night of vituperative sparring and drunken invective. It starts when Haley Joel Osment shows up to deliver pot. Julie, Riley, and Dad can turn on the BS. When a magazine wants to photograph a family of happy thespians, but Mom, whose mere presence can ruin the shot, is reaching her breaking point. This manages to be sad and poignant, but also hilarious, as when she drunkenly leaves a message with a California winery to thank them for the fruity top notes. There's a great deal of shock humor in the verbal sparring of Clara's Ghost. I've never heard the C word used this much in a non-British film. But what seems, and may very well be, improvisational is a marvelous opportunity for the Elliott family to show off their comedy chops. The zings are furious, and Chris Elliott, who quite frankly we don't see enough of, leans into his borderline AARP member status. Pretty much every reaction shot he gives gets a laugh. One can spend time wondering just how much of this film reflects the realities of life in the Elliott family. Man, there is an awful lot of ritualized drinking, but what's most amazing about Clara's Ghost is just how horrible everyone is. The most pressing post-screening discussion ought to be, who did you hate most? But a word about that, this is also not a movie that will get a wide release, or perhaps any release at all. And I don't think it's the type of project that will work particularly well at home as a VOD or streaming title. The urge to switch to something else in the first 10 minutes will be large. One needs to give this one time. Years ago, there was a thing called the midnight movie circuit. Clara's Ghost would have thrived there. For now, though, the movie will probably work best at film festivals, with a more adventuresome late-night crowd. I'm certain, though, that we'll be seeing more from Bridey Elliott. Her acting career is already in ascendancy, but for a first feature, she also shows tremendous promise as a director. As the film devolves into something more akin to Darren Aronofsky's Mother, things get legitimately tense. I predict that in a few years, she'll have a bona fide hit on her hands, and the cool kids will get to say, "Hey, did you ever see her first movie, the one with her family? Man, that was nuts."